Hello everyone, welcome back to the Limited Vetesian. Gareth here with yet another USF2000 video. This is 6 tips on how to be quick in the USF2000. So we have been racing the car and we've been putting out track guides over the last few weeks, and like one of those really annoying kids at school who refuses to do their own homework, I have been pestering Ture Molarin, who's the fastest guy in our league, for his homework and watching what he's doing with the car, because he's phenomenal with it. He's like at least a second or half a second faster than me in every track we go to. So I really went to learn what was making those lap times. So this is what I've gleaned from watching Ture, and I hope you find it very useful. Please do like and subscribe the video to the channel if you did, and let's dive into it. So braking is the first tip, and this is kind of how most people's first time in this car goes. Just a massive lock up, and you miss the apex, and you ruin your tyres. So that's how it tends to go when you first start with this car. It's very sensitive on the brakes, and this is how you should do it. As you can see, braking a lot earlier than you think. So Ture tends to brake 20 meters earlier than I always think you would start braking with this car, but he doesn't brake very hard. He's gentle on the pedal, and that means less pressure on the pedal, but also less deceleration overall. So he's not slowing down as much as I often would. So that's something you need to practice, and it takes a little while to get your head around, but yeah, just be very gentle on the brake pedal. Try not to slow down as much as you normally think you need to. Trust the car. So that takes us into number 2, which is to carry your gear changes through the corners. Now this is primarily sort of in hairpins and on some of the sort of mid to slower speed corners, but traditionally you would always brake, change down gears to the right gear for the corner, turn in, and then hit the apex and accelerate out of the corner. But that's not what Ture does, and if you watch these few examples here, you can see that he's braking, and when he's finished his braking phase, he's then just sort of, while still maybe doing a bit of trial braking, he's then just doing the last couple of gear changes just to get to the gear he wants to accelerate out of the corner. So do have a practice with that, because you might find you're going to gain a couple of tenths, and it does help speed up your lap times. So tip number 3. Keep your revs high. This is a momentum car, so that means it's got relatively slow acceleration, and it means when we talk about a momentum car, it means that you're trying to keep your lap time flowing by keeping the minimum speed high at all times, and that means that you don't want the engine to be down in the bottom end of the rev range. You want to keep the revs high so that it accelerates as fast as it possibly can. So don't be afraid of a cheeky extra gear change on the exit of the corner, just to make sure that you're booting it out of the corner as fast as possible. Even if that means you're just down in that extra gear change for just like a second or so, it's worth it, because you're going to be faster out of the corner overall. So just have a little think about it. Here's an example here where I would have said third gear all the way through this corner. But you can see Ture's dropping down to second gear just on the apex, just to get himself that extra run out of the corner. And here's a few more examples for you, just to sort of labour the point so you can see that it works. Tip number 4 then, early turning for high speed corners. Now I find there's a lot of understeer in the USF2000, so you counter it by turning in a fraction earlier than you feel natural. But this is subjective to the corner you're in again. And what we're really talking about here is these high speed corners. My example would be Watkins Glen, final 2 corners, so the left-hander flat out corner, but if you don't miss your turning point, you are going to wash wide. And the final corner, yes, you're braking a little bit, but you're turning in and you're on the power before you even hit the apex. So it's about practicing that sort of where is the optimum point to turn in for the corner, And you might find that on these really, really fast corners, especially if you're not actually slowing down for it, that you will benefit from just turning in and it's very hard to quantify, but it will be very slightly earlier than you think is natural. Have a play with it, have a practice, because you might find that all of a sudden you're just carrying more speed through the corner, and you just find it easier to hit the apex, get through the corner and get to where you want to be on the track for the next section. So have a practice with that. And number 5, carry speed through the corner. So this is again linking back to the car being a momentum car, but also this is about coasting. So don't be afraid once you've finished your braking phase. We were talking about braking less than you think. Don't be afraid to just sort of be off the throttle and carry the speed through the corner before you pick up the throttle on the exit. I've noticed that Ture will be off throttle for longer than I would expect, and it is because he's carrying more speed through the corner, and he's able to pick up the throttle and blast out the corner faster than you think. So it's something you need to practice, and it feels a bit alien when you first do it. And here's an example here, Okayama turn 1, where I was really struggling to sort of get it, and I was slowing down too much. So I started copying Ture's style, where I'm braking earlier than I was thinking, but I'm not braking as hard, trying to just carry that speed through the corner. And this is really where you're going to find a lot of time with the USF. Carry the speed through the corner, and then be ready with the low speed, with low gear change, so you blast up the corner with high revs. And finally, don't turn too much with this car. Especially in the low speed corners, and especially if you're trying to use a bit of trail braking and things, if you turn too tight with a bit of power on or a bit of braking, you're going to spin, and you're going to lose the car. So try not to turn too much. Be really sort of gentle with the wheel. Again, it's subjective to the corner you're in, but it really will help you in the long run. So there you go, guys. That's 6 tips on how to be quick in the USF2000. I hope you found it useful, and please do like the video if you did, and consider a cheeky subscribe to the channel. That'd be awesome. And why not come and race with the limited edition? We race the USF2000. We race LOA Prime, which is currently racing in the Lotus 79, but then moving to the IndyCar, I think, in the future. And also we race GT3's Next Gen NASCAR and the ARCA series. So if any of that appeals to you, then do jump by and say hi on our Discord. That's it for this one. Take care, guys. See you next time. Bye.